Hi, welcome, I'm Melanie. So this video today has been inspired by quite a few conversations and comments I've had about trying to understand the connection with your divine masculine and the journey when you are in the mind as opposed to being in soul. And so I just wanted to come on to just give a gentle reminder to highlight and emphasize how you will not be able to truly understand this journey and connection with your divine masculine coming from the mind. How the mind will not be able to fully comprehend how significant, important, and vast this journey is. How it won't be able to understand the sacredness of this connection and journey. I understand how it is so easy when you are trying to navigate this journey to get caught up in the egoic mind, and how it is so easy to drop out of being in soul. How quite often you don't even realize that you are in the egoic mind because it's sneaky and crafty. It can come in through the back door, so to speak, and cause you to go down that rabbit hole of getting tangled up in those fear-based emotions. And I know many of you who are watching this, especially those of you who have been on this journey for a while, but even those of you who are relatively new but are trying to understand and navigate this journey, will have had many experiences of the egoic mind being troublesome, hindering and preventing you from moving forward. Because, of course, this journey isn't supposed to be understood from the egoic mind. And so when you are in the mind trying to understand it, it will lead you to becoming confused and frustrated, and also to go around in circles getting nowhere. And it doesn't have to be to do with your divine masculine chasing and looping. It can be to do with other aspects of the journey, like when you are working on yourself, doing inner and shadow work on past traumas, and how these have affected you, learning how to let go and how to heal. Your egoic mind can be loud at these times, causing you to fear and doubt, and trying to stop you from stepping outside of your comfort zone. It will seem the egoic mind is relentless at times, forever trying to trip you up, hold you back, and cause you to feel like you are getting nowhere, or even to feel like you are going backwards. And I know how disheartening it can be when you are on this journey trying to understand it and navigate your way through. But remember, the reason for this is because you have always been so used to being in the mind, only really ever being aware of your mind up until your awakening, only knowing what you have been told or learnt through the programming of the egoic mind and through the conditionings, beliefs from what has been passed down through the generations of family lineage and society. Seeing everything in duality and separation consciousness. You are not used to being in soul and recognizing and trusting those intuitive, quiet whispers and nudges from your soul. And so, of course, because of this, it can feel overwhelming and exhausting sometimes, because it can feel like your egoic mind and your soul are in a battle. But that isn't what is really happening. Your mind will be loud and try and insist you pay attention to whatever fear-based emotion it can throw at you. But know that your soul doesn't have to shout. It doesn't have to try and get your attention, because your soul just is and knows the truth. It is a constant. It is an infinite, eternal source of love and light. And it's always been there guiding you, hence why you will have felt those unexplainable intuitive feelings sometimes throughout your life. You've had a spiritual awakening and are now becoming aware of the truth. And so what is going on is your egoic mind is trying to keep you in your comfort zone by making you fear and doubt. It is desperately trying to keep you where you are and hold on to you at all costs. So will become more crafty and sneaky. Remember, this is what your egoic mind was designed to do. It was designed to keep you safe. And it is only doing its job by trying to stop you from venturing into the unknown. But the unknown is where you learn, grow and evolve. And you have been woken up because it's time for you to let go of the old timeline, where you stay put in your uncomfortable comfort zone, the perfect place for fear to grow, but all the time becoming stifled and frustrated. And it's time that you step into the new timeline where you are constantly growing and evolving from constantly stepping into the unknown. And so it's about recognizing and getting good at observing the egoic mind rather than being drawn into it, and being able to tell the difference between the egoic mind and soul. No matter where you are on your journey, when you were first woken up and since, when you were discovering what the connection was between you and your divine masculine, and then throughout your journey, you would have had a deep sense of inner knowing that what you were learning about, the connection, and what you were being led to discover on the journey was real and the truth, and still will. Even though you may be and have been constantly bombarded with fear-based thoughts and emotions, and most probably still will be, nothing making sense in the way you would have been used to it making sense through the mind, being logical, having some sort of proof, deep down you will know the truth of this connection and journey, because it will resonate so deeply through to your core. And although sometimes that resonance may seem faint and weak and in the background, it is always there. And so along with getting good at recognizing and observing the egoic mind and when it is at play, it is also about getting good and recognizing and accepting the more gentle nudges and whispers of your soul, the more subtle yet constant inner knowing from your soul surrounding your journey and the connection with your divine masculine. Because your soul holds the answers, not your mind. You will never be able to understand anything about the journey or the connection with your divine masculine from your egoic mind, because your mind will complicate things, because it is limited and it's trying to work your awakening out by using logic. And when it can't, the ego will kick in, becoming fearful, causing you to be skeptical and to doubt and fear. It is only through establishing and building a connection with your soul that you will truly be able to understand this connection and journey. Because although it may not make sense to your mind, when you are in soul, it doesn't have to. Because your soul knows the truth and holds the answers. Because your soul holds the keys to unlocking the wisdom and knowledge that is within you, which has always been there, but it's just been buried or obscured. It's through being woken up that you have been given the opportunity to connect with the true you, for you to recognize those more subtle, gentle, intuitive nudges and whispers, and then being willing to trust and accept what you are feeling. Yes, this is a process, but it's a process that will lead you to aligning with your soul and to come into union. Because your soul will help to guide you intuitively to where you need to go, constantly helping you to move along this path, leading you back home. And so remember, the answers to all those questions and trying to make sense of it won't come from trying to figure it out from your mind. The answers can only come from what you are feeling from your soul. Anyway, I'm going to finish up there for today, but my website is there for anyone who is struggling and would like some help and guidance in moving forward on your journey. On there, I offer one-to-one coaching to help guide and support you on your journey. And along with that, I also offer a free discovery call for anyone interested in having some coaching but not quite sure. This is a great way of discovering if you would like to continue having more coaching. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sending you all so much love. Bye for now, and blessed be.